Allow the children. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over Naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He do they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo.
No dear.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to every one of you from wherever you are watching me from. It is Maiyegun Live. Celia, thanks for joining us. I need you to send me a personal message, right, on that WhatsApp. Important. Has anyone seen Yeye Bello? You may be due for some compensation. If you can help the Nigeria EFCC to locate him, he is a wanted man. People destroying people, trying their best to at least come together, building on the failure of their 2023 elections, right? But the wahala is far from over. Kadobi is in America, same with Wale Edun, meeting with the IMF and World Bank. In their midst, they were sounding intelligent in lying. And just about 2 nights ago, less than 48 hours ago. Kalu met with the faction of Afenifere, APC faction of Afenifere, and the same lamentation, baby steps, baby penny. And yes, share this broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends as we kick off in a minute. Good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Maiyegun live. The drama of yesterday when the EFCC of Nigeria attempted to arrest Yeye Bello of Kogi was botched by his successor, Ododo or Ododo, who came with all of the paraphernalia of office, including all his security as a state governor, to come and rescue a supposed criminal that stole over 80 billion naira of his own state money, according to the EFCC. Then after Ododo took Yeye away from his Abuja home, like a fugitive, smuggled out in the car boot. Can you even believe that? The eyewitnesses said they had to smuggle him out of that Abuja house in the car boot. And immediately they left, they smuggled him straight back to Lokoja. And from the EFCC, they have become powerless. And they turned to the social media to come and cry like us. Or they came to cry to us. And according to them, they decided to go public and explain to the public what Ododo did and how unconstitutional and lawless it is. In fact, it's a total breakdown of law and order for a state governor, anybody at all, to stop another agent or agency of government from carrying out their supposed constitutional mandates. So in this regard, the EFCC is now powerless. Not without crying to Tinubu, and that is the Presidency, who also issued, listen to this, immediately Yeye Bello managed to escape from Abuja yesterday. He issued a statement, and it was pretty much like a stern warning to Tinubu's asshole rock. He said, call your dog to order. This is not how we do it. Even though if I am a thief, they shouldn't try to arrest me. Why are they arresting me? Am I the only thief? Kind of. That this is going to be a big problem if Tinubu failed to call Olukayode to order. Because Olukayode is harassing him. Olukayode EFCC is embarrassing him and kind of, right? So Tinubu's Presidency now responded. Law station, bar station law, color report, right? And that is simply and loosely interpreted as, listen, go to the EFCC office, go and report yourself, go and surrender yourself. There is nothing we can do. And for your information, Bokwari is no longer inside the asshole rock. So is Aisha. They are no longer there. Upon hearing that, the EFCC now came back to the media and said, if Yeye Bello is proven hard to get, they would have to ask the Nigerian army to help them. So would that simply mean the next couple of days, there are some level of international, both local and international disgrace politically, as among many others, that Nigeria faces in the hands of all these rogues? You can look out for something this before this weekend or the next one, or never. So what they did is that they have published the name of Yeye Bello as a wanted thief. And according to the EFCC, they said the public is hereby notified that Yahaya Adoza Bello, former governor of Kogi State, whose photograph appears above, is wanted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in connection with alleged case of money laundering to the tune of 80 billion, that is 80.2 billion Naira. So if you see you may be due for some commission. They didn't list that there, but that's just a part of the drama. I saw a video of a guy who said, "Oh, I know where he is." Alaye, they know where he is too. What? And for them to get Yeye Bello will no longer, he will no longer sort of leave Nigeria, and you will never see him in public as well for some time until the coast is clear. All of this, so I keep saying it to you, and I will continue to remind all of you. When you see things like this, as much as you all know that they are not new and the rest of that, but when you see news like this, it is not of you to think, yeah, the law is going to catch up with them. No, it's not because of you. Primarily, Tinubu is an illegitimate government. Tinubu is himself a known certified criminal. So the moment you are not in that circle, or you probably post yourself as a member of a possible threat to Tinubu's Ajele advocacy, then they will come for you. And it's not just Tinubu, it's practically how they practice, how they do their politics in that place. This is not about you. This is not even about Kogi people. It's not about trying to get the stolen money. The Kogi people who have no water, they have no good roads, they have no hospitals, they have, their educational system, just like everywhere else in Nigeria. Their money that has been stolen, it's not like this EFCC is doing this to get the money back and give it to the Kogi people. No. It's just the same thing that when you say, okay, where is Malamu? Or where is that guy, Sirika? What about that lady, the Bokuwari's Shadia? Now, the same thing requires that if those people never really pose any direct threat to Tinubu's ascension, right? Then others who did, they will not have any rest. And therefore, consider this as these rogues using the system to hunt themselves, not because they are doing so to possibly give it back to the people they stole it from. No. It is some, dog eats dog shit, like that of the poor people in Nigeria too. El Rufai spoke last week. And right now, you all know what is going on with him. They are from the same cycle. Gandola. Somehow, some believe that except the Tinubu decided to kind of give him a lifeline, is also as good as gone. But all of this happening between or within them, again, it's not because they are trying to do anything right anything right by Nigeria. No. Yeye Bello is a thief. So 99 or 100% of everybody inside that APC, all past criminals. So, from what we have already gathered, in fact, somebody actually said that if you have been penciled down or sort of marked by Tinubu's gang, and the kind of sense that you are going to be a bit of a problem, or maybe a bigger problem for them, as they are already, planning and salivating over their 2027 victory that is not even here. So anybody who poses a threat, they will come for you. But you know what this person said? Rufai spoke. He is currently under their fire, right? How come Peter Obi, who has been so vocal and is actually a real threat to the APC, feudalist, kleptomaniac, illegitimate regime? Let's be honest. But they couldn't really pull up anything that would at least guarantee, maybe, like EFCC or DSS or something like that. They couldn't pull anything out on him. So what that person now said was like, so definitely, when it comes to the characters in charge, in charge of Nigeria, the reason why many will tell you, when you put all of them together, Peter Obi will always be like a saint. He is not one. But when you pull him and you put all of them before you, all these rogues, right, is definitely a saint. Because by now, I wonder why they haven't really found anything that will at least have trigger an invite or something, because it is Nigeria now. Have you never thought about that? I remember he told them, if you have anything on me, if you find any sort of corruption traced to me, to anybody who was with me when I was governor, to any member of my family, I will stop campaigning. That was during your Sharid election. And to the end of it, not a single thing. Meanwhile, those who are supposed to be the member of a Tinubu's clan, the member of their coven, APC, they just spoke something against the Tinubu's government, and boom, their supposed corruption, which is legit in Nigeria, suddenly attracted the attention of their supposed rabid dog, EFCC. If they are not capturing, you know what I mean, Sha? You can still see all the thieves, even Matawale, who is a minister under Tinubu, a rogue that stole over 120 billion naira of Zamfara money when he was governor too. He's walking about. Anyway, Sha, what happened now is, if you help them see or find the Yeye Bello, even if it's going to be for the, for the dragging, for the, the embarrassment or whatever they are going to met out on him, I can assure you, in a contraption like Nigeria, except the rogues in charge decided to want to make a scapegoat of him. Don't look forward to Yeye Bello going to jail for looting the resources of Kogi people. Don't look forward to that. But let's make a quick stop at the PDP NEC meeting. Drama upon drama. But let me give you a little bit of a backstory, okay? After all of the backstabbing, the betrayal, and all of the ego trip, the power ego, and all of that of Wike Atiku that divided the PDP into two, and then Peter Obi leaving them and taking whatever glory that is left, or any consideration that some of you were having for people, destroying people. Then he took it away. So the whole thing became the ghost of his old self. And it's been like that now for over 2 years, right before their presidential primaries, to after their presidential primaries, and to the presidential campaign and all of that. There's no point in boring you with that, okay? But there's something you need to know. You know, people say if you want to be sincere with yourself, in the last 10 years of Nigeria, there is no difference between APC and PDP. In fact, majority of the leaders of APC today, maybe not today, because they've scattered enough anyway, but majority of their leaders were once members of PDP. So the bottom line then was that people destroying people in 2023, after scattering to what it became, even before 2023, under Bukwari, you could easily tell PDP, all the PDP in northern Nigeria, they are the same with the APC and the CPC because of Bukwari. Abi, while those ones in the south, they are just like, you know, puppets of the ones in the north, thereby making them more like targets of tribal ethnic politics whenever they try to go up against Bukwari's government. So Bukwari had this 8 fruitless, destructive years unchallenged, to the point that even during elections in their states in the northern Nigeria, PDP were using PDP governorship candidate, PDP assembly senate candidate. They are using Bukwari's image that people should vote for president and vote for them. I remember all of that. So which later showed to everybody that forget about anything opposition, they are all the same, bed of the same feather. That came to earth in their 2023 charade, when PDP governors openly declared their support for the Tinubu of APC. They didn't stop there. They did everything to ensure their own party candidates lost their state and the elections. And they kept saying it was all caused by, not fulfilling a gentleman agreement that said power shift. Anyway, fast forward to the behind the scene. Why some of you were asking, hey, wow, PDP, they cannot do anything. When the Wike is riding them and he's telling them if they burn you, they don't burn them well. They say, suspend him, dismiss when the Wike, they said the Wike will come on video and say, they don't burn them well. Suspend who? Suspend who? Who is suspend who? In PDP. They don't burn them well. And to this day, a lot of people are still wondering why, how. It is complicated. If Atiku had become your president, it would have been pretty much like a vengeful one, because you see, behind the scene, they had nothing in common at all. It was all transactional. It was pure transactional for PDP behind the scene. I mean, like you say, okay, opposition party, what is their goal? What is their aim and all of that? No, it was all transactional. What is in it for me? If I can't get this, then you can't get that. So they decided looking for where to get whatever they wanted, all of them. So Wike had succeeded when he managed, to frustrate IU, Abina IU, and Atiku frustrate him. So he had managed behind the scene to get this guy to be the acting chairman of PDP. And you see, this guy, is from the north, okay? So he was supposed to be like outside. He was supposed to be an Atiku's man. But he is a Wike's man. By the time others discover that he's actually been the ones giving Wike coverage, because Wike and his relationship with the Nigerian judiciary, I'm talking about the corrupt judiciary, is there to say, listen, Ayu is in court fighting his own removal. And by so doing, the time they nominated this guy as the acting, Atiku and gang never really had a chance then. Sure you get. So Wike had his old there. And when Wike went to go and join Tinubu's government, Wike said, I told him, he's aware. Why the rest of their party or their leadership were wondering, how could, where is the evidence? Wike said he wrote this guy, and the guy wrote him back and gave the clearance, go ahead. The guy who is the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, Bala Muhammad of Bauchi, is a Tinubu's guy. In fact, majority of all these people destroying people, governors, they are Tinubu's men. And somehow, they decided that they were bringing the whole thing to an end because Ayu has withdrawn his case against PDP. So PDP can actually go ahead now and do convention, in a congress or whatever, to elect their proper leadership. But with the Wike's influence is still haunting them. Don't ask me how. I told you it's all transactional. Money, money, money that made men never to be able to do the right thing, just same way. But I am not telling you all of this so that you can feel any pity for them. I'm just saying to you, or I'm kind of like showing to you the characters of men. That some of you that are in charge of Nigeria, either as part of the federating unit or as the whole body. And every time you look at Nigeria and something tells you it's going to be great, these men are men that will continue to prove people like us right why Nigeria will never make it. As long as you still have the system that continue to shun out criminals like this, and they said a political party or political courtesan, it doesn't matter. So the D-Day was set. They were all willing and ready. Today will be today. I think they didn't even prepare that Ayu was going to withdraw his case against the PDP. So they decided to go into the NEC. And Wike was there. Atiku was there too. For the first time in 2 years. Oh yeah, nearly 2 years. Atiku and Wike were in the same room. Sorry, I removed the audio because of the sound on it, okay? So let me show you.
Maiyegun làwọn mọ̀ làwọn tó lódodo. Maiyegun làwọn mọ̀ làwọn tó lódodo. Maiyegun ti dé ọ̀rẹ́ aráyé. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Lórí ṣe ń lọ ní Maiyegun dá wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀tẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe àní Maiyegun máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe é.
Sorry about that. I had to use that audio so that it doesn't look totally boring. You know what I mean? It's just the video. I had to take the audio out. And this was before their proper supposed NEC meeting. So Yeye Wike is a former governor. Number one, he probably shouldn't even be in that room, but he was there. And there was nothing like any reconciliation whatsoever on the table. But before their NEC, where some of their decisions were made, okay, I've got some few clips I won't mind to share with you, including the face-off between Ododo and Ortom, those who have pledged their loyalty to Tinubu, and look at them, right? So let's start with this. When the House of Representatives caucus of PDP issued their own statement yesterday. Do you mind?
Very distinguished honorable members, men of the pen profession, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have just concluded the third meeting of the People's Democratic Party caucus of the 10th Assembly, and we have resolved, firstly, to tell all of us and the world that the PDP caucus in the House of Representatives remain united, indivisible, committed, and out to perform her duty as the watchdog on behalf of the Nigerian people. In the same vein, we x-rayed the security situation in our country, and we resolved that we can no longer take this situation where Nigeria is today almost tagged as one life, 1 minute silence. The government is therefore called upon to immediately take steps to ensure that the security situation in the country is normalized. And the caucus has also given 3 months ultimatum for government to normalize the security situation in our country.
Nuisance, Lele.
I'll not waste your time, okay? Because I still have some clips of so many other nuisance, and I don't want to take the space of the other. All right. So the bottom line was that we met, and as we are united, and we are going into our NEC meeting, but we are also giving 3 months ultimatum to Tinubu to normalize the security situation in Nigeria. Bollock. Yesterday also, Yeye Wike's men, young people who were demanding, they took over the Wadata Plaza in Abuja, calling for Atiku to stop contesting. Atiku should leave PDP alone. Yeye Wike is their leader. And according to them, they were even screaming it. Yeye Wike leads and they follow. All yesterday. I'll show you some of them. Here is one.
By its capable hands to tackle insecurity, and Yeye Wike has proven himself with responsible leadership over time.
We have confidence in him because he has the essential quality of leadership and fundamental that inspire influence, which are integrity and insight.
The association says they are hopeful that banditry and kidnapping will be handled according to the law and residents protected. They prayed God to help the FCT minister to achieve his mandate. Minute silence was observed in honor of those who lost their lives through kidnappings. Sophia, no.
But that's not that one I want to show you. Go. Those ones are the group who are saying that Wike is doing well as a minister. Atiku should leave him alone. Now they took it to the secretariat in Wadata and they started screaming.
Requires capable hands to tackle insecurity.
We can eat, we follow. 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 We can eat, we follow.
We can lead, we follow. We can lead, we follow. Lead them to where. Anyway, at the pre-NEC meeting, I think it was in that room I showed you earlier. Now, so Dino grabbed the microphone, turned to Ortom. You are a bit, well, listen.
I am telling you that please, if I am on my feet and I will speak. I am on my feet and I will speak. I am on my feet and I should be allowed to speak. I will speak. And he's not the only one.
So they were supposed to be the North Central, PDP North Central meeting. And that was where, I'm going to still bring you the full video because I'm still like, I'll bring you the full video, don't worry. But that was the short one where Ortom, oh, what the hell is wrong with Ortom? What is he even doing at the meeting? I think that's the question Dino was asking him. What are you doing here? Have you forgotten this?
Let us work, because Nigeria cannot exist when we have no Nigeria. But if we work to ensure that Bola Ahmed succeeds, there will be tomorrow for anybody to even contest election at all. Our leader, Governor Yeye Wike, have already made a declaration that in 2027 we are supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We have nowhere to go, because that is what Nigerians believe. Even the past administration that took Nigeria from top to bottom, we allowed them to work for 8 years. So why can't a seasoned administrator, a seasoned politician, in the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to rule us for 8 years?
Nuisance, Lele.
Ortom. So what is he doing at PDP NEC meeting? Why is he there? What was Wike doing there? Is PDP also going to have presidential candidate in 2027? Or they will betray that candidate as well? Anyway, when they finally managed to sort of lie to themselves again, claiming that they want to save Nigeria, they want to come and rescue you from Tinubu, rescue you from APC. Meanwhile, they are all the same. They are eating from the same plate, same plan, same plot, same workbook. They came out and said, well, as the PDP Governors Forum, before we all go to the NEC today, here is our position, especially what is going on in Rivers State. And the hypocrite Bala Muhammad, that is also very much in the ass, inner pampas of Tinubu, is the one reading it. Listen.
PDP Governors Forum held a meeting under my humble leadership at the Akwa Ibom Governors Lodge in Abuja on Wednesday, 17th April 2024. The meeting deliberated on various issues of interest and concern to the forum and the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and issued the following communique. 1. The meeting reviewed recent developments in the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and urged the National Working Committee of the party to set in motion the machinery to conduct critical congresses in all the states while tenures of the party officers have expired. 2. The meeting noted that there are no factions in the PDP and everybody is working together united with all the stakeholders and all the organs of the party. 3. We equally want to use this opportunity to affirm that in Rivers State, the governors will work assiduously towards resolving all issues in the state with a view to uniting all the stakeholders. The PDP governors congratulate the host, our most respected Excellency Governor Eno, for his hospitality in hosting the meeting. Thank you very much. Any question? And we are looking forward to doing it within the constitutional provision of the party. So we are not here in this NEC that is preceding this meeting to discuss about change of leadership. We are talking about resolving all issues and going forward, so that at the end of the day, the timelines allowed in the Constitution for congresses and what have you would have been done. But certainly, the public are free to communicate, to discuss, and then, of course, NEC will decide on some of these issues.
So, sorry, sir. So, is the government...
Who is NEC? NEC is the PDP Governors Forum and other stakeholders. So, we are just a portion of NEC. We cannot talk on behalf of NEC until we get there. So, there is no any faction or division.
Well, if I may ask just this question, I would want to know the position of the PDP government in terms of the agitation of the North-Central Zone, that they must complete the tenure of the outset.
Well, NEC will take the governors. I know the governors normally take the leadership position, but we have an acting person in the acting capacity leading the party. And so NEC will decide whether it is time to take the active, to fill in the vacancy, looking at the legal implication of doing that, knowing that there are so many lingering litigation issues in court. And of course, we don't want to disparage ourselves because we are aware there are some marauders hiding somewhere trying to factionalize our party and take one person to go and do coalition. We are not going to allow that as governors. We are very responsible and we are very credible. We will make sure that we resolve all the issues and unify the party for maximum efficiency and, of course, success in the next election.
Nuisance, Lele.
You know he's lying, Abi. It's called Takia. Like that. Or talking like, when somebody is really lying, you see them, they will be blinking enough, like, or they'll be pretending not to be seeing you correctly when you are wearing a hat like that. They are deceiving you. He's a Tinubu guy. Even then, no, that Cross River one, that one that looked like somebody that should be in hospice, right? That their governor, their jolly governor. I think they have a name for him. Enjoyment, something like Jolly Hour, Happy Hour Governor, Happy Hour Governor. They are all Tinubu's men. And as it is, it's all transactional. Okay? PDP is the music. PDP, from their state, right? Their people are their meal tickets. PDP is the one that issued it so that they are now at the table. Nobody gives a damn about you, right? And the reason why I'm actually showing you those clowns is that PDAPC, APC, APPDC, or so, they are the same. And none of them is interested in fixing that shit all. Now, here is what they said is their final resolution after their meeting. I'm sorry it's boring. But don't worry, just listen to a few of it.
At the end of the caucus meeting, the following was agreed and resolved. The national caucus deliberated on the critical issues.
Sorry, sir. That tag behind you, national chairman.
Let's remove it, yes.
Let us take it off. Thank you.
No, just continue from where, like, the deliberation.
Thank you, gentlemen of the press. We just concluded the 44th caucus meeting of the People's Democratic Party. Today, 17th April 2024. At the meeting, the National Caucus deliberated on critical issues relating to the party and resolved as follows. 1. That all organs of the party continue to work in the interest of the unity, stability, and growth of the party. 2. The caucus received and approved the timetable for the party congresses, the local government, the ward, and state congresses as they become ready for it. And it is going to be between June.
Chaos. That video is about 5 minutes, but don't worry, don't bother yourself. I'll tell you what he said. Okay? So what he practically read in that supposed resolution after their Congress, after their NEC meeting, was that everybody who is there in acting capacity inside the people destroying people should continue until later when they will now choose a date and do their national convention, a national congress, to now choose and elect, to now elect some of their new leaders. But this was how Yeye Bello came and left. The first part is the Yeye Bello's arrival. The last part is when he was leaving. And as they said it before, he had no real role to be there. But he's a financier. If he found some of the guys who parade themselves as PDP leaders today inside that their PDP. So they owe him. Look at this, how he came and how he left.
Sorry.
For those who have seen Yeye Bello's convoy in Abuja, they say sometimes when you see him, you think it's a shitty man, or in fact, Tinubu coming. Maybe not Tinubu, but like shitty man. The guy still lives his life of a governor, and he's the governor of Abuja, selected governor of Abuja. Let's go to something else. I was going to touch on the demolition that took place in Ibadan yesterday, but the time didn't, we didn't have much time. We were like out of time. So I'm going to share that with you because the news now says that the house demolished is Onitiri's house, Dupe Onitiri's house. the mama leader for dry Democratic Republic of the Yorubas. Remember that a day after the invasion of government house in Ibadan, that was unsuccessful, right? The young man and the woman or lady arrested confessed where they were kept at Oluyole in Ibadan. And then the Nigerian, as usual, they went there and they discovered some, supposed military gears, like just military uniforms, camouflage, boots, hats, megaphones, something like that. The next thing, Oyo State government took their bulldozer to the place and demolished the house. What the hell is really wrong with Nigerians and demolition and destruction? As their way of reacting to what they believe or consider as a crime or something. It's like it's a general thing in that country, right? To show to you that they are working. Oh, they have picked somebody up. Oh, he's a kidnapper. He's a kidnapper. Oh, he's been the one kidnapping people this way. Then the next day, they will bring kata to destroy evidence. Why are you demolishing houses that could be like, that could have a lot of evidence and all that? Why are you always so destructive in that contraption? In the name of trying to fight, whether not fight crime or fight something, I don't know. So destructive. Take a look at this. They don't see bomb, they don't see gun, no. Now clothes and boots and shoes, so they took katakata there to break it down.
àárín ilé ní gbogbo kí ní ẹ̀wà kìí ṣe ẹ̀rọ àti kílẹ̀ yóò lúyọ̀ ní gbogbo tó fi jẹ́ kó lúyọ̀ lórí. Oyé wa náà ni o. Àti ẹ̀ mọ́ lọ́rọ́ lúyọ̀ lé nìkan wọ́n sá tàgẹ́tì o. Ẹ̀yin ìyẹn wa tí ẹ̀ ń wò wá tẹ̀lé ń gbọ́ wa jákèjádò àgbáyé tí ẹ̀ bá gbàgbé nígbà tí a wà ní Fátúsì ni wọ́n ṣe gudugudu méje àyà mẹ́fà wọ́n ṣe dáadáa a tún bá wọn bì tán tó dúró gbágbágbá ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá ní Sanyo wọ́n ti débí láàárọ̀ yìí wọ́n tún ti wà ní Fátúsì báyìí. Wọ́n bá wọn bí gbà àbí wọ́n bá yín wọ́n bá wọn bí gbà tí wọ́n wá kí ọ̀gá wọn tó wá pàdé wa ń bẹ̀ yẹn àwọn náà tún wọ́n bọ̀ wá join wa ń bí ń sìn ibi gangan ni wọ́n ní onítìrí ló ti sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ̀ ń rí tó ń lọ káàkiri yẹn ibi tá a kọ́kọ́ lọ yẹn ni wọ́n kó àwọn nǹkan ìjà olóró sí mú mi mọ́ bí fún orí ibi tá a kọ́kọ́ lọ yẹn ni wọ́n kó àwọn nǹkan ìjà olóró tí wọ́n ń lò kó lọ secretariat ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n kó sí ṣùgbọ́n mọ́tò tí wọ́n ní ó padà wá tí wọ́n mú mọ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ ó tún lọ kó ẹrù láti ibẹ̀ yẹn wá síbí wọ́n fẹ́ kó àwọn nǹkan ìjà yẹn láti ibẹ̀ yẹn wá síbí ni so ẹ jẹ́ ká wo ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ bí wọ́n ṣe ṣiṣẹ́ níbẹ̀ yẹn láàárọ̀ mọ́jú bẹ́ẹ̀ náà wọ́n ṣe ń bí o wọ́n ti wá bíwó èyí tó sọ pé property ó ti di tìjọba ilẹ̀ yìí ó ti di tìjọba wọ́n ti gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹni tó ń lò fún onítìrí tí wọ́n lò fún ìdàlúrú ìgbàjọba lọ́nà àìtọ́.
Nuisance leleyi.
The typical Nigerian. I mean, I will give him credit for the fact that he was there to give us the image of the demolition and all that. But a typical Yoruba is already making it more like, I mean, it's not his fault, Shao. If not because of that lunatic, Iyawo Onidiri, and those that are sort of encouraging her in this misadventure. If not, see, he was there. He's already said daluru àwọn ohun ìjà olóró ohun ìjà olóró, dangerous weapons. That's what he said. He said those who went to the secretariat with dangerous weapons. So one of the vehicles that they caught at the secretariat, they realized that it was bringing, it was one who brought in the ohun ìjà olóró to the secretariat. So ohun ìjà olóró is in that house, and therefore Oyo State government has taken over the property. And according to him, see, you heard that again. That's why I call him a nuisance there, right? According to him, Onidiri that is in America, he is saying it in his video there that Onidiri broadcasted from that house, which is not true. And he probably knows, or maybe he's that ignorant and the typical Nigerian. He had to add some few lies to make it so that you see when you talk about self-determination, then it can start sounding like it's a dangerous thing. Oh, did you hear that they are carrying Jauloro? Did you hear that they are carrying dangerous weapons? Did you hear that they demolished the house of that person that they said they keep the Adoluru? It's not their fault. You agree? Anyway, Chike, my brother, thank you very much for that your super chat, right? That's very generous of you, as usual. Thank you. Now, Kalu met with the Afenifere, supposed the Afenifere of the Fashoroti. And this life, the Fulani terrorists killed this is Arakunrin, who happened to be Pa Fashoroti's daughter. And Pa Fashoroti happened to be the former authentic Afenifere, and he retired. No, sorry. Well, he's an old man over 90 years old, and handed over to his supposed junior in the struggle of Afenifere Yoruba socio-political group. And Pa Adebanjo, who became the leader of Afenifere, decided that they know who Tinubu is. The druggy criminal is known very well. Yorubas will never follow this criminal. And that's exactly what happened. So you know what Tinubu and Co did? Immediately they divided Afenifere. Afenifere, Yoruba, Afenifere will not endorse Tinubu. Is it that bad? Is Tinubu that worse that Yoruba Afenifere will not? Oshewo, we must create another Afenifere. Baba old man, demented old man. Oh, Baba, we don't get dementia. We know they hear too much again. Oh, like off record. Oh, Fashoroti. Tinubu and gang, they went there. They dragged the old man and told the old man that he had to endorse Tinubu so that they can see Afenifere endorse Tinubu. Isha created problem between two old men. This Kolu. And one of them went and packed themselves to go and see him inside the Aso Rock, the relic. These are not Afenifere, the real Afenifere, so, but they still went there as Afeniferes. And Kolu, another fossil, was there to tell them how Nigeria is very, very tough. How do you build in all that nonsense, Shasha? I'm giving you the boring ones now, so I can take you to the ones that are not really boring. Here is Kolu. Kolu and the Afenifere Onje, old, jobless, unuseful elements, parading themselves as partly Yoruba, this Yoruba, that Oloribuniwa. I just want to make you know. Here is them meeting Kolu.
What we face now is challenges of terrorism, security of lives and property, that is very, very necessary for development and good results. And we have been battling that. I can tell you this afternoon that we are achieving success. there's improvement. From hosting flags on the Nigerian properties and sovereignty, we have degraded terrorism to a level that they could not threaten the sovereignty of this country any longer. Well, it is always hard to defeat economic opportunity that might open up in this type of challenges, particularly when the country is equally challenged economically. So, the banditry, kidnapping that they've resorted into will also be defeated. I declined any ransom method, no payment of ransom whatsoever. We are taking the battle to them, and we are getting result more rapidly than ever before. The case of Kuriga and many other, kidnapped children is evident in the way we rescue them from Sokoto to Katsina to Kaduna and others, now more expeditiously than ever before. We are working hard on intelligent gathering and execution of our programs. Those that might thought they can threaten the sovereignty of this country will have themselves to blame. They have a price to pay. And we are not going to relent in that area. We have the solid mirror that has attracted a lot of insecurity, scavenging, and others. Then we have special forces that is facing that now. We will have an effective forest guards that will be, fully in control of our forests in the country. But first of all, we must tackle the desperation of our youths, particularly the young ones, by following a cardinal program that brings relief to the parents of our future leaders. That's making the education as a tool and a strong weapon against poverty.
Oṣó ni, àjẹ́ ni, ẹlẹ́bọlóògùn ni, amániṣẹ́ni ni, afàìmániṣẹ́ni ni, wọ́n á fi yín sílẹ̀. Oṣó ni, àjẹ́ ni, ẹlẹ́bọlóògùn ni, amániṣẹ́ni ni, afàìmániṣẹ́ni ni, wọ́n á fi yín sílẹ̀. Oṣó ni, àjẹ́ ni, ẹlẹ́bọlóògùn ni, amániṣẹ́ni ni, afàìmániṣẹ́ni ni, wọ́n á fi yín sílẹ̀.
You know why I'm saying that? Because at least some people are looking at that Tinubu, and to them, they are seeing a man that is a man when he is actually a fossil, I should have warned you. All he had to say, all he was saying in that video, was him saying they have tackled insecurity to the point that they can no longer threaten the territorial integrity of Nigeria anymore. And then he turned to that part of the youth. I should have warned you, when we listen to Kolu, we don't listen with too much seriousness, because some of you will be there. What is he saying? I don't wonder, what is this? Friend problem, don't try to understand him. Just sit down there. Do you have like a grandpa or great grandpa? Those ones that were so active when they were young, but now they are like in their 90s, in their 80s. Things are already going a little bit off. Although some of you are still like, man, I can't believe that grandpa is still so lucid. Man, at his age, he's so lucid. He is so sharp. It's because he's not. He is not. It's just that whenever the brain is like, it's like, what do you call it? A dead clock that will be right twice in a day. In that brain of those old people. No, besides they talk say, I lived with old people too. Things do go off their mind a lot in that age. It's normal. But every time they are talking about or they are remembering their youth and when they were younger, their activities and all of that, when they are trying to reminisce that, they will suddenly become alive. They will suddenly come alive. Yeah. Especially the one that wants to show you how he was, this or that. He will suddenly just come alive. Baba, easy. Me, you don't know. When I was younger like you, I was like, you know what I mean? The same old man that is working like this. That's exactly what Kolu is. So when you're looking at them, they can be very interesting to sit with. Especially whenever their mind is not so bothered and they want to just share stories with you. Guess what? Most of their stories, some of them will be off. Because they could barely remember a lot. You see how you are looking at me? Some of you didn't grow up with old people. You only imagine them or you only visit them. Me, I grew up with old people. And I don't know if it's a thing of brag. At least 4 of them died in my hands. I don't know their age, so I put their ages at over 100. I'm talking about people when we say old people. That you will be looking at their skin. When they become very old, their skin becomes like a plastic bag, like a nylon. Do you even know that? No? So when you get older to some age, to some level, right? Your skin, there will be no meat. No meat. It could just be skin that look like nylon. It's like that. It's like roughened up a bit. Or very, very roughened up. When you get old to some level, I'm talking about old people, we see, they feel like, say, now that nylon back skin, they cover their skeleton. Yeah, I'm talking about old people that you can easily look at and be like, you know, go take time before all of the, what do you call it, that insect go chop all this meat, because there's no even meat there. Those are the kind of old people I grew up with. I'm talking about people that died, that we have to wait for the first bus, early morning bus in Ododo, so that we can go to Lagos and tell their sons or their daughters that Eleko have died, Olukola died, Baba Alekeji don't die, Yemi don't die. You get that? But we know we don't have any embalmment, we don't have any, what do you call that thing again? A mortuary. No, nothing like that when I was growing up. So the way we were embalming dead people, which I witnessed as a very young boy, was that after cleaning them once they are dead and all that, we can confirm they are dead. Then you clean them, you freshen them, or you clean everywhere. I'm talking about like proper bathing for an elderly person. No clothes, no nothing. Clean them, freshen them. Then you begin to massage all their body so as to make sure that they do not sort of become stiff. So you massage that with ori and lorun. There's a leaf we call lorun. So we'll blend them together. And then we'll massage until the whole body looks like they are alive. They are just sleeping. Then we will put salt. You know, you get a bowl and you pour salt inside that bowl. and then you put that on the chest of the corpse. Right there, you walk in, you walk out. That was how I grew up. So when I tell you about old people, I know them very well. When I look at Kolu, I look at some, I feel like I'm just listening to one very old relic that is trying to sound lucid, like somebody who is still smart, who could still put all his thoughts together. Even if he's putting his thoughts together, he can no longer say them the way he would want to, like I said. So if you have grown up with old people, Kolu is not somebody you should listen to and listen to with rapt attention. It's unfortunate that he's your president in Nigeria. It's unfortunate. When I look at him, I don't listen to him with any seriousness, because, come on, how can you listen to this guy with seriousness? Like, what is he saying? I'll show you another part of his meeting with Afenifere. He tells himself he's doing fine. They tell him he's doing fine. The rest of you are just lying. You know that? Here is Kolu.
Then you did in politics with Chief Obafemi Awolowo was invest seriously on education. And we've seen a problem that parents are facing in paying the tuition fee of their wards. Therefore, we have established student loan. Even though there might be free education in some areas and, but to nationally fund education while we are going on, means of transportation, accommodation, tuition, and all of that could be problems to people withdrawing from the higher institution. And we established the student loan, and we tell you it's taken off, and taken off well. Seriously. To equally follow the path of social welfare, we are equally examining what to do with high degree of unemployment. When we cannot use any other method, we must help vulnerable families who have children unemployed. How do we do that? But enlist them from NYC up and pay some living allowances to them, called unemployment compensation. We are equally looking at how we stimulate the market, the purchasing power of people, and as well at the same time fight corruption. Why, before we got here, you have a former accountant general, they discovered billions in his account. And tinkering with various payment schemes and others. In fact, contractors being exploited, vouchers being altered. We have taken action, and you will soon hear the funding of consumer credit. If you eliminate the cash requirement to buy a car, to even buy a motorcycle, if you eliminate the demand for cash to even furnish a house, or to look for cash to get a house by itself, even if it's a shared house without furnishing. If you use consumer credit to control that, you will reduce the propensity for fraud and irregularities and corruption. So it's a dual carriage fight, and we are about to move on that scheme. And I promise you, our focus is that, and we will not let you down. God bless. God bless Nigeria. God bless our unity in diversity. The diversity must bring prosperity for the sake of Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
The transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn.
So Kolu is working very hard. I don't know why it's sort of looked emaciated there. Like he's shrunk. But they sent this picture from last week, Friday, where Kolu looks like somebody that the stem cell they are pumping on him seems to really be working. Sure, you know that one, Sha? That they have to start sending in some regenerative cells into Tinubu's body to see if that helps enough to reduce the shaking, to reduce, you know what I mean? And then they continue to kind of pump him up with as many drugs as possible, just to ensure that he is able to sit somewhere and at least pretend to be there for just an hour or two. You know that, or you don't? It's not, I mean, look at him. If they just pump him, it look like somebody will be saying a vulcanizer pump him, like the balloon of a vulcanizer, right? He's working so hard to make Nigeria better, but I am not really good at quoting him. It's so difficult, except if I'm just going to have to be picking things from what he had to say. You can't make any sense of them. He lies conveniently by telling himself or what they say to him. Yeah, I mean, like student loan. Ibadan, great Nigeria students. You are Ibadan, University of Ibadan students. I heard that your own school fees has increased by 750%. Is that true? I want to die with that. I heard, Sha, that you are rejecting the increments because Tinubu had, he's removed the education subsidy and student loan is doing well, is coming on well. And that is why Kadobi went to America and he lied. Again, sometimes you can see that Tinubu, if it was a Tinubu of 20 years ago, it would have been very much like in tune where he's dropping all those lamba, consumer credits, blah, 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 all those nonsense he's saying. They are in no way correlating with whatever he's doing, but they're just like buzzwords, okay? You learn how to do them. For example, let me see if I can practice it and show you. Okay, I mean, something like, let me see if I could mimic that, all right? Let's say I want to talk about the corruption in Nigeria. So then, I could easily just say, man, corruption in Nigeria is so dangerous that it is affecting lives of millions of people, denying them access to basic things. Very easy. No buzzword, no catchphrase. Abi? But if I want to get you confused to sound like I'm intelligent when I am not, I may start with the level of stealing in Nigeria. It has become so monumental that it's become so gigantuan that a lot of citizens, the population, are wallowing in abject lack and want, excruciatingly pouring out millions and millions of impoverished people. I'm just trying to see if I could just fuse all nonsense together, all jargons together, just like, you know what I mean? And then you'll be sitting there like, what did you say? All I'm saying is that, you see, this corruption is very dangerous. It's affecting a lot of people's lives. Oh, is that the gigantuan or excruciating? No, excruciating is the, wow, why don't you just say it that way? So Tinubu will kind of drop those things to make you feel like it's making sense. But by the time you begin to piece all the nonsense he said together, they do not make any sense. Now you go finish the statement. Come to say, what he is trying to say is, see, Baba, I heard him. You don't need to tell me what he's trying to say. I'm just telling you that it's not making any sense. If somebody says something, we've seen in English, we both they talk, right? And then you are the one, you still want to interpret what he's trying to say. So we've seen that fraud many times. And that's exactly what they do. When they begin to drop those, I'm a Yoruba man, and sometimes I do feel jealous. There are some people who do know how to really speak this English. But majority of those who really who knows how to speak the English, that the way the Queen's English, they are criminals, not all of them. Because I know some of you are really good, but I'm talking about these ones, okay? Because they went to the best schools all over the world, Harvard, Kingston, this, that stuff, Oxford, Cambridge, that. But none of this education that these guys acquired from all these prestigious historical institutions or sites out there all over the world, none of them has benefited Nigeria. It has been on how to actually help loot and, impoverish Nigeria. So we raised the alarm the other day that the Nigerian foreign reserve has been depleted by $2 billion. How did they do that? Or Kadobi now came and said, no, we did not withdraw 2 billion. Because if I play you this video now, some of you will sit down there and just be like, oh, okay, I think this one makes sense. Want to get here? If I got to get me, I'll go first warn you. Everything he's saying in that video, as much as it sounds practicable or believable, Maiyegun is telling you that if you pay attention and not give room to that sophistry, you can easily see through the lies. Right? Yes. They are in America, where they were asking that, is it true that you have taken $2 billion from your foreign reserve to defend the Naira? Or more, Kadobi de Pairo. Kadobi opened his mouth. Ododo Emefiole de Pairo. He lied. And you know how I feel when people lie to your face. It's like saying you are stupid. You don't know what you are saying. Okay, I've seen this. What's that? That's a can of iron brew. Now, a can of iron brew, how can it turn to a can of Coke or, Fanta? It's because they can say, no, it's Fanta. They use Fanta to make you look like you are stupid. You are not. These guys, they were borrowing money. Initially, they said they needed money to offset the backlog of the money owed to the international airliners, that their money got trapped in their bank in Nigeria. But that's not true. Ododo and Emefiole. This one I'm going to have to explain to you before I play this video, okay? Because I know a lot of you would love what this guy says they are doing to be true. I kind of would love that for you too. Maiyegun, are you not happy? Need that? Why should I be happy when I know that you are only kicking a can down the road? You're going to see it in front of you, and it's going to be more disastrous than what you have ever experienced. What did they do? Ododo and Emefiole said, for their economy to bounce back, they needed investors. And before you can have investors, there are some certain things you have to present to the world. Number one, that you are a lawful country, a lawful government that respects rule of law, and your courts are indeed independent. You have to present that. Then the next one is going to be the security of lives and properties in your country. How is that? You see, when you have all these two, you don't even need to go to investors. They will come to you. But because Nigeria has done so terribly bad that $10 billion of businesses in Nigeria, they couldn't take the money out. And that was a red flag, a red signal to everybody. Don't go to that place. So you will never have a chance of taking your money out. They will find a means to make sure that you don't. But they put Kolu inside the plane. They took him to India, took him to UAE, took him to Qatar. They took him to Washington, all over this globe trotting. They came back, Baba. Well, I could see invest $100. So, okay, somebody just say, I want to go and invest $100 in Nigeria. No single one. Because they couldn't trust them. Then Ododo and Emefiole now came up with an idea by saying, the time when you had your $10 billion with us, the exchange rate was 400 Naira to $1. So now the exchange rate is 1,900 Naira to $1. So what happened is that we want to pay you back now. And if they are to be paid back, look at it this way. These businesses put in 4 trillion Naira in Nigerian bank, equivalent of $10 billion if you exchange it for 400 Naira to $1. When the Nigerian Naira enter Kana to Wokoto, turn to 1,900 Naira to $1. That automatically, from their 4 trillion Naira, if they change it to dollar, it won't be 10 billion. It is going to be somewhere around $2 billion. So they will lose 70% of their money, which is going to be over $7 billion. Who does that? So they rejected the offer. Some felt like, okay, you know what, just give us whatever you have. Ododo and Emefiole now said he has renegotiated the entire money. Those ones who didn't accept the offer, definitely their request and their demand cannot be verified. So Nigeria doesn't hold them. But for those ones who have accepted our deal, we are now going to ready to pay them. Now, all of these are meant to be like, if they are like genuine, they would have helped Nigeria to start kind of a recovery. It's all voodoo. Oh, nah, fakey. Every avenue to recover, to make Nigeria recover, these guys have monetized it. They've profiteered from it. But they can speak English to tell you, we are working on, we are and a lie. So then they started looking for dollars desperately, like person with do money ritual. And they wait for the spirit that is coming at 12 midnight. Then this is 10 past 12. The spirit hasn't shown. And they said if the spirit is no show, you go run mad. That's exactly what the Central Bank of Kadobi, that's what they have been doing. They were running mad. They needed the money. They needed the dollar so badly. They went and used $12 billion worth of a crude oil to borrow $3.3 billion. They got tranche of 2 billion from that. And then people started saying, what happened to the Nigerian Foreign Reserve? Why would anybody go take 2 billion in 29 days from the Nigerian Foreign Reserve to defend the Naira? I mean, Baba, these guys are practically, they are giving $10,000 to over 1,570 bureau de changes in Nigeria. About times, it will $10,000 times 1,576. Whatever the number is, I don't know, but that's something that's going to be massive. $10,000 to 1,576 bureau de changes. And it was every day. At a point, they shared over $69 million in a single day to the bureau de change. So that they now said, this is all subsidizing the dollars now. Nobody say Nigeria Naira or production has improved or increased in Nigeria. Nobody say power generation has increased too. Nobody say these rogues has generated any jobs anywhere. Not that any businesses are also have settled in. No nothing, no banner, no nothing. They came up and said that the Nigerian Naira is fighting back. Meanwhile, there were those who were subsidizing it. It was in the public. Everybody knows it. Everybody saw it. But Kadobi has denied though. Deny. He said, no, we are not defending. It's a buyer, willing buyer, willing seller. The Nigerian Naira is still being floated. We are not defending it. I'll give that to APC. Are you with me? APC is the only, APC and their criminal people. They are the only ones, right, that will lie to your face. You will know it's a lie, but they will insist it's not. Until you begin to doubt yourself. I thought it's a lie now. This is a lie. Maybe it's not a lie. Or maybe it's not a lie. No, it's a lie now. I have proof. Am I sure I have proof? These guys are insisting that it is not a lie. Or is it just me? I better check very well and make sure that they do that to a lot of people, and a lot of you have been their victims many times. They will face you and tell you and say, yes, it's what it is. Now you go and say, una do Muslim tickets. Now still they accuse other people of being religious intolerancy. APC, yeah. But listen to Kadobi. He speaks good English, by the way. From what I heard, he had his first degree somewhere in America, his second degree in the same America in Harvard. I can't confirm that. But the same guy ran down 3 different banks in Nigeria, like a whole bank like that. He ran them aground. They call him headmaster because he speaks well. When you look at what they are doing, it's beyond speaking. Look at what they are doing, which is acting. What they are doing is a total contrast. But just for the record, Kadobi denies using the dollars to defend the Naira. He said the money missing from the Nigerian Foreign Reserve, they used it to pay for some debts. He never mentioned the debt. Watch.
Know exactly where we are headed in that direction, but it's certainly something that we are looking at. We're looking at that. Defending the Naira, which from every indication seems to be an elephant in some room. Now, I want to try and make this as clear as possible. It is not our intention to defend the Naira. It is not. And much as I have read in the recent few days some opinions with respect to what is happening with our reserves and the central bank defending the Naira. If you think back to what our overall policy and philosophy has been here, you can see it's counterintuitive. Okay, basically, what we're encouraging is for the markets to willing buyer, willing seller, price discovery. And ultimately, I perceive a future where central bank will really not need to intervene. okay, except in very, very unusual circumstances. What is important to us is that there's sufficient liquidity in the market, which I've spoken about here today. Fine, 1 billion is the outlier. Sometimes it's 600, 700 million US, as the case may be, and that will continue, hopefully. So as long as we have a vibrant currency market, why do we need to go in there to intervene? We don't need to. I can understand that, especially at the outset, there have been little cases where the Bureau de Change, the BDC, there was a need to get that segment going. And, you know, small amounts of money, relatively tiny amounts of money have gone into that to catalyze that happening, because it's important that, again, individuals have access to funds to send abroad, their kids abroad, and do things which are important, health, etc., etc. So it's important not to keep them out of the mainstay. So that, yes. But in terms of intervention, frankly, that's really not our intention at all, to intervene in the money market. And what you see with respect to the shifts in our reserves is a shift that you find in any country's reserve situation, where, for example, debts are due and certain payments need to be made. They are made, because that is also part of keeping your credibility intact. And other times, money comes in and, you know, takes it up again. And if you watch in the next couple of days, I think between yesterday and today, we had about 600 million US that came into the reserves account. So I wouldn't let people get too excited about this thing. All I will say is that we are looking towards ensuring that we have a market that operates on its own, willing buyer, willing seller, and price discovery. That's where we're going to.
So you tell me, do you believe him? At least now you've heard him. Do you believe him? At least some of you are accountants, Abi. Did you see how he dismissed the reduction in the Nigerian foreign? No detail, no nothing is given. Are you with me? It was like, no, that's not a big deal. It happens to all countries all over the world where their resource goes up, it goes down. It's just nothing. You know, we needed to pay some debts and all of that so that we can keep our credibility. And, you know, then we give some small amount of money to the Bureau de Change. You know, like people wants to pay hospital bills, school fees abroad. So we just give them, there's nothing. You know, don't worry yourself. We are not defending the Naira. That is Nigeria. Dismiss it like, oh, Kadobia said they are not defending the Naira. All these things you are saying, they're just like, no, man, don't worry, it's nothing. Okay, we are just there we want to make more liquidity. Liquidity in this sense is that we want to make sure that there is enough dollars available whenever people want them. That's what they call liquidity. They use the word so freely, but they don't have any control over. They were supposed to have control over the dollars. You know the story now. You know when they were running about like headless chickens, right? Looking for dollars. They were even begging us in the diaspora. Please send your money through us. Come on, be patriotic and send your money through us so that we can have your dollars. Remember? That's him talking about liquidity. We just want to make sure that there is a liquidity in the market. There is enough dollars. He didn't give any answer. Which of the debt did you pay with $2 billion? How much did you give to the Bureau de Change in total? Nigeria's foreign reserve has lost $2.1 billion. And then he said, oh, I think about $600 million came into the account yesterday. Kadobi. You come out $2.1 billion. Nobody has a clue what it's used for. Since you didn't use it to defend the Naira, the $2 billion given to you by the Afrexim Bank, where is it? because the $1.3 billion is due in May. They're going to collect that one next month. It's a loan that Nigeria has to pay back in 5 years, or else the Afrexim Bank would have to go to Nigeria and take 67 million barrels of crude oil as a payment for that loan. Kadobi, what did you do with the money? Well, here is Edun, who is also with the IMF and the World Bank. Baba, they are discussing Nigeria at IMF and World Bank. For those who understand what it means, so IMF and World Bank, you might mostly explain there. But listen to Edun.
Greater efficiency in collecting taxes and other fees and charges that government has a right to impose. And what we have done simply is we've used digitization, technology to improve the processes by which government bills, collects and monitors the revenue that it is due. And similarly, on the expenditure side, there are some fiscal incentives which perhaps people were not had access to, which they should not. So for example, we had a import duty waiver for people who are importing machinery and equipment and even raw materials that are in line with government's priorities. We have added a monitoring and evaluation module, and technology is really runs throughout everything that we are doing. We've added that module, which now allows us to track better the outcomes and track better what is being done with equipment and items that are brought in duty-free, whether they're being recycled and so forth.
What sort of boost?
Better window on that.
What sort of boost do you expect to tax revenues? Just in rough terms.
Well, in terms of government revenue, we have a target this year of increasing government revenues by 60%. So it's very much a stretch target, but we need it because at the same time, we have a target of bringing down the fiscal deficit from around 6.1% of GDP to about 3.8%. So if you're consolidating fiscally like that, you need a real boost in revenue. And whereas normally you would be talking about small increments with technology. I mean, we're in the US and we know what the power of technology to really boost things and give you quantum leaps, which is what Nigeria needs, and we're on the road to getting at this time.
The conversation about revenue, obviously, on the flip side, we look at the challenges with debt, right, for the country. The issue, I mean, Nigeria in terms of debt to GDP is not in a bad place, but in terms of revenue, debt to revenue, it's a concern, especially if you, I think last year it was something like 98% or something like that if you looked at the budget. Should Nigeria can it take on more debt if you're that confident about the revenue coming in? I mean, what should be happening here?
Well, I think in order to stabilize the economy and to stabilize things like to get the economy growing again, you do have to bring down inflation. You do have to stabilize the exchange rate, and you do have to eventually get interest rates down so investors can borrow in addition to the equity and invest, achieve higher productivity, grow the economy, and create jobs for all these young people at the end of the day, and thereby reduce poverty. So debt is part of the equation, but it must be balanced and it must be sustainable. And I think many African countries are struggling with that. I think we have a handle on it, we are focused on it, and we know that the answer to debt is revenue. If you have enough cash flow, you have enough revenue to service your debt. I mean,
so that's why the priority.
We're in the US and look at their debt figures, but the difference is that they have the revenue, taxes, and other government income to service, and that's what lenders want.
And just to move it on because of time, you've also talked about the drop in foreign direct investment over the last decade or so. which of your policies, just in terms of the priorities of your policies, what are you doing to turn that around? Because I think you talked about a 19 billion drop in 10 years, FDI.
I think we have not attracted, particularly in the oil and gas sector, we have not attracted our fair share of foreign direct investment. But you know, it's a progression from where we are. We have stabilized the monetary authorities, the central bank, led by the governor, have taken.
That's what they do. How many of you notices the way he sort of speaks? How many of you notices what do you call it? Pastor Ruga's vibes. Oh, these are guys, you know, they are Yoruba, they are my people. And I promise you, when Yorubas want to start sounding like, I don't know how to put that too. When they want to start sounding like the most intelligent, the most, that's when they'll begin to throw in the big words. We are developing technology that is going to help improve the revenue by 60% this year, because we know that technology is going to help us and give us a quantum leap in development. Quantum leap in development. That's some good English. The way is just sounding like somebody will be saying, "Sure, you get it is all word salad. It is all bollock, all nonsense." But you can relate. Yes, you can. Here is another part, if you don't mind, right? We're going to go to another thing again anyway. So yeah, Edu is trying to impress their slave masters, the ones that doesn't invest, but they borrow money. They lend you money. That guy is sitting there with IMF and World Bank. Those ones who are giving them loans that they are paying to themselves as consultants. Here you get. So it's there to impress them. Oh, yeah. Tell us that technology. Which technology have you improved in Nigeria to increase your revenue by 60% where you don't get job? No job is created. No real investor is coming to that place. Businesses are folding up. They are leaving. More jobs are being lost. But these guys are telling themselves that they are helping you with technology. Oh, yeah, which technology? Maybe you in Nigeria. Yeah, it should be telling them the technology they are using to improve your revenue by 60%, other than for them to just, they have just been announcing. Is that not what they have been doing? Subsidy is gone, then your life is almost gone. Abi? Edu, let me let him finish. It won't finish, I promise you. I will stop him midway, but I just want this to be on record and see. Now, the intellectuals, economic advisors that if Tinubu put together, Edu, continue.
Mr. Wale Edun, who, has a ton of experience in the country, not in banking, in state government, and we are really excited that he can be here to talk with us. I'm just going to get right into it because, as you know, we're tight on time. Because we are on this track, we are talking about digital infrastructure. So I just want to open with that before we really get into the macro picture. And just would love to hear a few words from you on the importance of enabling investment in Nigeria's digital economy and why this is, I'm sure is, we call it digital economy, it's just the economy, right? So,
yes. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a great opportunity to talk about the digital economy and other things that are happening in Nigeria currently. In terms of, when we look at the digital space, it's about young people. Nigeria has them in abundance. We have a population of over 200 million people, and the median age is 19. We have, I think, of the four or five unicorns in Africa, 3 are of Nigeria origin. It is very much an area which the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which has been in power since May 29, 2023, is focused. We have an important initiative called the Investment in Digital and Creative Enterprises. It's funded together with our development partners, and it focuses in training, skilling, empowering, funding of startups, with particular emphasis on women, particular emphasis on youth. And in addition to that, the Minister for Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, who himself is a techie, as they say.
Doing well.
He's running a program to upskill 3 million Nigerians, and that involves off-site, as you can imagine. He's reaching them digitally, he's reaching them virtually, but he is bringing them into contact. Every so often they meet physically. And so that shows the push and the emphasis in that area in Nigeria.
And the reason I made that point about this is just the economy, as we say, is to talk a bit more about the broader economy into which these digital issues sit. So I saw yesterday you talked about, in an interview, you talked about Nigeria finally, sort of the economy finally turning the corner. And I wanted to explore that with you to understand the sort of the green shoots that you're seeing. Because clearly, if we were just to look at the inflation numbers, they're still very high. Top line inflation is like 32%. Food inflation is 40%. So it's a very tough time for a lot of ordinary Nigerians. How do you explain to ordinary Nigerians how we're about to turn the corner and move forward?
Well, I think it's not just for ordinary Nigerians. It's basically all the stakeholders, including the potential investors, including the domestic investors, that we need to, in sporting terms, you say you take the positives from a situation. We have had a period of the president coming in to power last May, right at the end of May, and taking important decisions regarding government expenditure to try and repair the government's finances. Right. Of course, there was a very, very expensive, costly fuel subsidy that was costing 2% of GDP. He removed that. And in addition, we had a foreign exchange market that was totally not fit for purpose, I would say. And so he's authorized major improvements in that area through the central bank. And these measures, in the first instance, very costly and painful. So the first commitment was to the poorest and the most vulnerable, to ensure that the government intervened. And the lesson came from COVID. During COVID, you saw that one of the ways to intervene directly and attack poverty is that you directly pay people, give them an amount where they will now decide what their priorities and go to the markets or wherever else with it. So we've had, on the one hand, major intervention moves, but it's now a total program. It's not just one or two key measures here and there. It's a program of repairing government finances, increasing government revenue, minimizing and making government spend.
I don't want him to sort of belabor you with all of his jargons. All right, is unable to tell the guy what they are doing to reduce food inflation and at the same time reduce the general inflation in the country. So he started talking about giving people money to go and buy whatever they like as part of their efforts of reducing food inflation. Abi? And it's buying. The country where they are using technology to generate money, Abi, is a country with no electricity. National grid is already collapsing like an epileptic sufferer. It even just happened last night. I don't know, some of you have seen this.
In another university, in Kano, if it is wherever it is, we need more people, right, scaling this type of technology where you've got multiple universities making up these bots. That is how you get development. And that's the essence of the Okay, so you can see that power is one of the issues we have to be discussing. This is why does this do you remember do you remember my power? Wait. Do you guys remember my electricity subsidies? You remember my electricity subsidies reports? How I was sitting. That's Nigeria for you. That's just where we are. This is Arise News. We get all the action, all the
monitoring the power grid.
So hopefully, I hope that venue is not in.
It is what it is.
I hope it's not in band A, because that would then the disco would need to explain something.
What they can the band there? What band are you? Band A, I be band fella. I been a band Sonny Ade band in a been a Oshupa band. Here band A, I be band C. I mean, it is a hell hole. So if you think you have seen it enough, you haven't. I have a video of a Fulani terrorist asking for ceasefire. About Nigeria, I'll show you.
Allahu Akbar. Because I'm representing Zamfara State. I represent Zamfara State. After that, I need to send message to Dauda Lawal Dere. Dauda Lawal Dere, Itaqillaha. Dauda Lawal Dere, Itaqillaha. Itaqillaha. As from today, we need to zaman lafiya in Zamfara State. Fighting is not continue to zaman lafiya. Peace is very important of you, because totally if you continue to look at the Eastern West Africa, you see Sulhu is very important for me. After that, I need to send message to Commissioner of Defense, Tukur Usman Gusau. He is the one of the send the aeroplane to come bush to bombing and bandit. This one is not good now. So, Kuma, if you see the Fulani, the Nigeria all is the House of Fulani, not the one Travaliu. Vigilante group. For instance, look at last week, vigilante group to come my area to follow my cow and sheep to go. There is no reason here. Dauda Lawal Dere, Itaqillaha. Dauda Lawal Dere, Itaqillaha. You are the leader of Nigeria, Zamfara State, in terms of my Zamfara State. So, if you are need to continue to lead Zamfara State very well, no be problem. So just come and call the Fulani, the Kashalas, to come to meet them. If the Fulani need something, the benefit of Garba Aminu.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, may them kill you.
May God not allow them, may them kill you. Finally, before I take calls, you know Jimmy Dizu of the Nigerian Info, he probably at a point was just thinking about the victims of the misgovernance in Nigeria, still standing up for their own oppressors. Like every day, you are like 40, 50. And you come on social media to come and defend people that put you in that state. I can't say it well like him. I want you to listen to this before we go for the break.
Some of them have because I go through their profiles one by one, some of them have master's degrees. Excuse me. That's the highest level of education. A PhD is a bonus. Some of them have master's degrees. Some of them are in their 30s, going to their 40s. One of my favorite pastimes, because I have a lot of time to fool around sometimes, is to go through their profiles, note their names, and so on and so forth, and say, yeah, oh my God, look at this one. Some of them claim to have responsible professions. Yes. And I see the way they attack, especially Rufai again, is my fellow attackee. And I said, look, there must be. Rufai is one of the, I'm sorry to go personal, Rufai is one of the most respected journalists of his generation.
True.
A brilliant chap. He might not get it right all the time. But you, defending these people, you now go attacking him, and they just go to the gutter, reflecting the kind of upbringing that they've had. So no child of mine. You can't find my children doing that kind of... I'm in the social media because of my job. You can't find my child, I can say it boldly, you can't find any of my children going to abuse people. You can't. They should be ashamed of themselves. For how much? Let's read that quotation again. I want you to read it. Because what we should be doing every morning is we should read it before we start work. The very people you are trying to save. Bloomberg says that, which is the next story. Bloomberg says that, it appears as if the central bank is using the foreign reserves to fund the exchange market. And that's why the rate is coming down. You publish that, and of course they started all over again because they don't have any logical thing. It is jealous. I don't read him. I look at their profiles, those you can identify, and say, at this one's age, you saw what I posted the other day. I didn't even know that I was 31 when I was a senior manager in Liver Brothers.
Oh,
yes!
31?
I was using a director's office. Wow. I was 31. It was when I saw it was in a this day publication. I didn't know.
31.
So when I talk with so much anger, you should be doing something better with your lives. I was 31 when I was headhunted from Vanguard newspapers. I was very close to what they call job class 24. Company, house, car, everything. 31. I mean, so people need to. Sorry, I had to go personal today, but sometimes these things can get to you.
Okay, Jare, Mr. Disu, God bless you. When you were 31, you were already a manager in Liver Brothers. At 31, some of these social media trolls defending APC at the age of 41, at the age of 50. You are trolling your children age mates online in the name of defending APC. And you see some of them, they appear to be educated, PhD, doctorate, masters, and other nonsense they parade. All of that to come and defend the people that have impoverished most of their generations. At the age of 40, you are doing we will not grieve for any obedient on this social media. I don't go, now me and this will be obedient today. I will not take any nonsense from them. If they say anything about Tinubu today, I will show them at the age of 45. Alaye baje, alaye run, alaye run. We'll leave it at that. Let me quickly take a short one. It is a short break, and when I come back here, I will take calls. I could be speaking to you. But do me this favor. We are over 1,600 of us on YouTube before now anyway. And it's only about 400 of you who have actually really genuinely liked the video. So I don't think the rest of you are abobakus that will never like my video, right? I don't think so. So, but it's up to you. I will be back in a minute or two. I do have other things to say. I always have things to say, but I just can't find time to finish all of them in that 2 hours. But anyway, we've had enough, okay? And when I come back now, I will take calls. Don't go anywhere.
àtisebo, àtisétẹ́, àtisétẹ́, àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́, àtisétẹ́, tìtó òdìmú òdodo òsì mọ́, àtisétẹ́, òdìsétẹ́, kágbádé fáláre, àtisétẹ́, kágbẹ̀bí fáláre, àtisétẹ́, adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó, àtisétẹ́, àtisétẹ́, òṣèlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò, àtisétẹ́, àtisétẹ́, èdò gbówó ń tẹ́, àtisétẹ́, àtisétẹ́, ètìsétẹ́, àtisétẹ́, ìjà ń jà aráàlú, àtisétẹ́, àtisebo,
àtisétẹ́. Thank you. To those of you who are still here, I do have a caller on the line. Chief.
How are you, my son? Maiyegun?
Very well. Dr. Agbede.
Keep it up, Maiyegun. Keep it up, Maiyegun. You are a threat to them. You are a threat to them. Don't worry. Keep it up. I'm backing you up. Keep it up. It's true. Yes. All of them, they are thieves. No exception. No, they are thieves. Thieves. Only. No exceptions. It's true. No, yes. No exceptions. They are thieves. No exceptions. If their commander-in-chief, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has refused to call that number 1-800-225-5324. Call the number if you can. Call that number if you can.
Even Sheyi,
call the number.
You remember you gave Sheyi the same number that time too, but none of them called.
Exactly. No? Like father, like son. Call a number. They are all thieves. But don't worry. Right now, for the very first time, Maiyegun, we, the Nigerian populace, we are at least now 3 steps ahead of them. 3 steps ahead of them. Yes. But all classified. Yes, we are 3 steps ahead of them. Yes. So 2027, that re-election is shaking. Because right now, as I do speak, we, the Nigerian populace, we are 3 steps ahead of them, ahead of their game. Yes.
Dr. Agbede.
Yes.
It's
Don't
really
worry.
good to hear from you.
All classified. So if the government can, yes, if you can, call the number. Okay, God bless you. Thanks so much.
Nice one, eh? That's a Dr. Agbede. I have an announcement to make. See, all of us who are the members of the Yoruba Union, and those of you who are members but have not had the chance of joining us on that Telegram, well, we are having our first meeting, the general meeting. The link is going to be put on that Telegram for those who might be interested. It is going to be the first virtual general meeting of the Yoruba Union. We want to brief you about the planned Yoruba Union Summit in Glasgow in August and other things that you should know. So please, I'm going to leave the link. I'm going to drop the link to the Telegram. For those of you who are on that old Telegram, majority of us were added to that Telegram then, and some people were wondering, what am I doing here? How did I get here? Now we decided that if you want to be part of us, you should use the link yourself. So that will be you sending a request to join. And you can be part of that meeting on Sunday. It's going to be on Zoom. And you are going to have other union leaders. I'm so sorry that I haven't put that on that group, okay, but I have to say it here. A lot of you are going to see the link, and you are not even on that group, and you can join us too. Just briefing and question asking, right? Thank you very much, Dr. Agbede, for that. Let me take another one. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Hello, good evening, Mr. Maiyegun.
Right. Idris, Bawoni.
I'm fine, sir. Thanks, sir.
Grand.
Thank you again for the enlightenment. And let me first speak to the topic you brought today. That's about the Emefiele. I stumbled this evening. I don't know if it is true, but I saw some posts that people are jubilating that Olu, they are distributing like 50,000 naira. I don't know, for government fund. I don't know how true is that.
Well, you know something, right?
So,
It is true, Idris, but you have to be somebody. If you have a business, you can apply. But it's 50,000.
But I want to.
No, it's your money. Like, go for it. I've seen people who said they applied and they got it, and others didn't expect and they got it.
Oh, really?
But it's just free money. They call it loan, but it's just free money. I'm sorry, I have to say it's a free money because I just know it is free money. But it's called loan.
So all this money that they are giving out now. Yeah. Hello, sir.
I'm with you. Continue.
Okay. So, and all this money now, I believe it's borrowed money.
Most of
from
it.
This IMF and all. So I don't know. Is this the way to go? Is this the way to go? Now, there was a time you said that this Lagos Calabar road, that when I calculated how much they are going to be collecting per kilometer, is that not awesome?
It is 30,000.
So I don't know.
Or it's a projection. It will be more than that.
Okay. Now, on that particular channel, I saw some videos illustrating that investment of that landmark man. But so now show the area view of it. And there is this, should I say ethnic policies in that particular, because when the person shows the area view, it shows that there can still be a way whereby they can manipulate that road. But now, they want to remove that particular protest. That man invested. Thereby, all these people from the abroad now, or people that want to invest, it's going to be shit that citizens. So I don't know. Most of the investment contracts, those people that have even invested into the country. So is that the way to go? So I believe that there's more way to this country. I don't know where we are going to.
Yeah, you're done right. Thank you so much for that. We could barely hear you. The line is so bad, really bad. But I'll say something after you hang up, okay? Nice one, Idris. Thank you. What happened is that there is, I think there is a landmark. Is that called Landmark Beach? Right? So the road they are building from Lagos to Calabar, they have started dredging that beach. And according to the guy who owns the landmark, he was able to make a deal with Tinubu or Devulumai that they will redesign the construction, and so that they can at least sort of avoid his beach and all that, where they have already invested. According to him, they've invested over $100 million in that place, revamping the place, and there are actually like tens of people working there. I saw their video. I even have it here. I was going to stream the dredging of that water last night, just to put it on there, like just stream it to everybody, because I got the video. But I couldn't, because there was some few kind of like, error here or there. Now look at them. They're like, that's them. Let me see if I can darken this and you can see it. In fact, let's do it this way. So talking about these guys, right? They have spent so much money in revamping that area, okay? They spent so much money. However, with this, what do you call it? With this 700-kilometer road that Devulumai says they are building with the Shaguris, right? So it's pretty much like, oh, hang on. Hey, why did I change it? Sorry. So it's pretty much like, you see all these people you are seeing in that video. I'm sorry I didn't put it on the screen. Go ahead. You see all these people you are seeing in the video. They are actually like workers there who came to come and say, please don't destroy our livelihood. Don't let us become jobless. and all of that. But when you look at the background, you will see all those tractors, excavators. They are already there excavating. So, but the guy shared something and he said, oh, we have made an arrangement with the government, and the government said they will leave us and they will redesign, blah, 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 blah. But yesterday, they were there protesting that Nigeria have started dredging the water, and it seems that it's going to affect his business after all. Then the Bumayi said it's not going to affect his beach business. We are yet to see how that's going to happen. But yeah, I have the video. I was going to share it. It's about 1 hour long. See this video? It's about an hour long. You know? I was going to stream it for everybody to see yesterday, but I couldn't for some reason. I do have to really tell you now, okay? But anyway, so, yeah, like Idris is trying to say, you know, these criminals are not creating jobs. So they are squeezing some of the few people who are able to bring in, or you can say some businesses that are creating jobs in the same place, and those businesses are not really protected in Nigeria. You're on your own. Yeah, you're on your own. If Nigeria happens to you and your business any moment, you would have to cover your losses by yourself. Yeah, that's how messed up it is. And that landmark guy seems to be like a very, very massive, major investment. I mean, like $100 million. That's a lot of money. So, but they wrote to him and told him to pack all his stuff. Lagos state government wrote him and said, pack all your stuff. You would have to leave. And the guy was like, okay, yeah, maybe I should talk to you and all of these guys and see what they could do. But I don't know what his fate is going to be like now. It is Nigeria, Baba. You have to go on there. You know, it's like when you get beaten. You just have to, like, you know, pack yourself up, dust yourself up. If you don't die, if the whole thing cannot kill you, dust yourself up and just keep moving again. That's what Nigeria does to people. It's unfortunate, okay? So for some reason, my line is quiet. So I'm just going to use a bit of my time to show you other things I had for you before now. One of them is where Gandola was bragging that, listen, we're going to fight the case. Those who want to remove me, Tinubu had promised that I will not be removed. But now they went to court to actually effect my suspension. I promise you, we know those be la 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 la. That's Gandola. I don't know if it's going to be boring, but maybe you should listen a bit, right?
Presence on Ortom here. In order to take over the government, presence on Ortom here. Members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, please be openly all. There is no doubt controversies in democracy, controversies in politics are variables which are constant. So I'm not surprised when such controversies emerge from the grassroots, coming up even to the national level. But what is important is the reality, the legality, the morality of the variables that are interplayed. I have to thank the executive committee for my word. I have to thank the executive committee of the local government and also the executive committee of the state and the entire members of the ABC in Kano State. When we had the news, we knew it was not true, but we had to exercise patience and see how things would be unfolding. And after fair investigation, physical investigation, it was found that those who met with officials Kano State government. They are not executive members of either the ward or the local government, and they are not even members of our political party. So I have to appreciate you for showing your concern. I know you show your concern. I believe in you, and I have been proved very clear. In fact, what is happening is that it is an incursion into our political party by the NLPP and the government of Kano State in order to destroy our party, because they are so concerned. So far, during the first year in office, they've seen their failures, right from the destruction of the economy of Kano State down to the increase of political violence in Kano State, and also the destruction of political morality in Kano State. And when all these are put together, they've started seeing the failure of their party. And they are more concerned that we are battle ready in order to take over the government come 2027. And also, they are so concerned.
Nuisance Lele.
Person was supposed to take jail. There is this song. You remember that song we used to listen to on Maiyegun's diary, Politico? EFCC chairman, EFCC chairman, day for the jail. And the politician when the proton enter for power, ewo. EFCC chairman no day for the jail. Politician when the proton enter for power. Person we supposed to jail is there telling his audience, his own enablers, that they were coming after him simply because they want to destroy APC, not because he is a thief, a Babariga mobile banking CEO, working for the drug dealer, the drug pusher, the druggie, Tifnumbu. The chairman of APC is a thief, a career kleptomaniac, a thief caught on camera. The APC, Egbekegbe's president, who is their leader, is a drug dealer, heroin trafficker, who forfeited over $460,000 to avoid jail. Yes. So if anybody tells you that APC, Egbekegbe, is the party of criminals for real, this ones are like real ones, established career criminals, and won't ones, Gandola is one of them. That guy collected $5 million in cash. $5 million bribe in cash. Baba, cash. And he put everything in his Babariga. Babariga is that, is that a free buba gown? How did they describe Agbada in Senegal again? I think it's called a bubu gown. Is that what you call it? And that is him. He's the leader of the ruling party in Nigeria. A thief. You see, some of you will be there wasting your energy arguing with the unbuded slaves and the sophisticated morons. The APC, Egbekegbe, you are wasting your energy, wasting your time. I don't know. It's not worth it. It's a bunch of useless cretins that, well, you gather to make us exist or coexist with. Unfortunately, Here is another part of Gandola's assurance to his supposed foot soldiers. It's all about the next election. So, at least to be closer to the pot of soup.
In order to take over the government come 2027. And also, they are so concerned that Kano produces, I can say, the highest votes, though after some time with influence somewhere, somehow, were reduced to the second highest votes for Mr. President, Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are so concerned that we will repeat the same and go much, much higher in order to ensure that 2027 there is no vacancy for any presidential candidate in Kano State, from Kano State and from Nigeria that will win an election as such. So we know their motive is to create confusion in our party so that we will not have the courage, the guts in order to take over our government again. And also to ensure that our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, does not have the intimidating votes he usually has from Kano State. We will tell them that their intention is impossible. Their intention will fail. Their intention is a falsehood. When assure Mr. President, our party in Kano State is intact. Our party in Kano State is solid. Our party in Kano State is battle ready. In order to keep the votes of Mr. President very high, even the highest in Nigeria. We have heard your complaint. Your complaint.
I'm just using him to kind of, just while away the time. It can be very boring listening to those, excuse of humans. But it is what it is. EFCC chairman still there for jail. Politician weighing the probe don't enter for power. Ewo. EFCC chairman still there for jail. Politician weighing the probe don't enter for power. That you remember the song for those of us who probably listened to it at the time. I do have another caller. Let's take this as we begin to round it up. Hello there.
Hey, Maiyegun. How you doing, sir? Nadiola the speaker.
Adiola Baba, how are you doing today?
Ekale, sir. I appreciate
all everything.
Oh, I don't even know what to say on the program anymore. I think so what is so out. What is so about man. And I think looking at the clip you were playing about Ganduje is really, really worrying because they are more or less fixated about the future.
Yes, now.
And they don't even know if they will last this year. They are making all these their plans, trying to organize for the future. But the present they've destroyed. So, and the present you have destroyed, your current actions are still destroying the future of unborn children already. So it's just a wasted generation. is a wasted generation. There's nothing you can really point out to that they've achieved. There's nothing. And what really, is worrying is that the proof of mismanagement, the proof of impunity is not even hiding in plain sight. You can touch it.
It's right there in front of us.
Sometimes, you would see things, but you are not aware it's there, but it's there. But in this case, he's not even hiding. They're telling us there's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing we can. What you
So
do about it?
The proof of economic ruin is just in our face every day. It's in our face every day, and it's a wasted generation. That generation of them, Tinubu, them Obasanjo, that particular set they are irredeemable. They are the irredeemables. There's nothing you can redeem about.
Doing us a favor, and they turn around and tell us that we are not grateful for what they are doing.
No, grateful. Sir. If you look at it critically, they are the fruits of the military.
Yeah.
They are militarized in their thinking. That's why even if we transitioned quote unquote into democracy, that military era from 1966 has produced these people with that same thinking. So I'm comfortable. I'm very comfortable to say, sir, that this generation is wasted. They are wasted. They can't redeem themselves, and the longer they are here, the more harm they will cause. They are propping up the Naira for God knows what. What are you propping the Naira for? We're propping up the Naira using our foreign reserves.
And it's just a little bit of the BDC. What is that little? Baba, it's not the one they gave BDC $69 million in just 4 days. So how little is little? What little is little? So nothing. Just words.
As in international finance, I think there are some stakeholders that want to exit the Nigerian market. So I can understand the reason why maybe they are trying to play to that side. So when you invest in
most of this information are already available for those who are in that field. You know that, Nadiola?
Yes.
Somebody like you who is into accounting and other stuff, right? That's your field. Most of this information are right there at your disposal. You know it. Whether it says it or not, they are there before you make any decision of investing there or not. Adibeko.
Yes. So I think them propping up the Naira is to allow people to exit, probably foreign investors, to allow domestic, strong domestic investors that have strong exposure to the Naira, whereby they were unable to hedge Naira when they entered that market. Maybe they are trying to
actually shorting Nigeria Naira at a point, and they are making a kill in dollars from that. All this kickback and all this round trip.
Yes, because if you really, really break down the Naira and what drives the Naira, you know that there's a fiat currency. So next is to short it. If we had all these currency traders that are very, very on the ball, let's say like Americans, that if we don't short Naira, die. But because Naira is not really a foreign currency per se, it's not on that radar whereby you want to short it and you want to destroy it.
Like they do.
No, I don't think it's on. It's not that. It doesn't carry that gravitas. It's a weak currency. It's not a foreign currency per se. It's a very weak currency.
Using it as, for example, right? Somebody told me that before this influx of these recent dollars that they are flexing with now, back in December and January, they printed a lot of Naira. I'm talking about trillions of it, hoping that whoever is bringing in any dollars, they will have enough Naira to pay for it, even if you want to change it for 2,000 Naira to $1. There were actually those, which I want to believe, right? There were those who probably took the advantage of the available supposed dollars that that came in around that time. I mean, I don't know how to put that, Adiola. Because shorting at it is not like they wanted to keep the Naira. But it's pretty much like they printed the Naira. They're just waiting for the arrival of some certain dollars, and under that disguise, they can just easily just take them by replacing them with their printed Naira. With no value. So
see, there are already some international investors that are vested in Nigeria, and they want out, and they want an exit. And a lot of them, so in the past, probably around the Obasanjo's time, you had, you had hedging strategies by World Bank. World Bank they had this agency called MIGA, this multilateral, insurance guarantee agency, whereby they used to insure, direct investments into countries, especially in the case of, currency incompatibility. So there were those mechanisms in place, and people used to bring in dollars and and invest in that country. A perfect example is private equity. Private equity used to pump so much money into Nigeria. At some point, they didn't hedge. They didn't really hedge per se. So their own best hedge was invest in good companies that had good fundamentals. That was how they used to see it. But now, it has all crumbled. So I think them trying to manage that Naira is to allow for people to exit that market. I'm not 100% sure, but my own thinking is that you're propping up a currency that has no demand. That's number one. That's a red flag. Why propping it up? What's the use of propping it up? The real drivers of economic, activities there. They're not driving it because they can see they are incapable of driving any economic activity that will lead to prosperity. They're incapable. So,
that's my own thing.
They don't even have the skills.
They'll say something,
Baba,
but they're doing something different.
See, Baba, these skills, when you are used to driving processes that yield profits, is ingrained in you. If you start from ground zero, you're able to build it back up again. But these guys, that's why I just wish Nigerians understood ethnographic studies. The moment you know someone for who they are, the likelihood of them changing, is impossible. So that Maiyegun. So if they don't have a track record of delivering, they can never overnight start delivering. It's not possible. It doesn't work. So when you hand over the reins or someone takes it by violence and is in that position and you're expecting prosperity, is unfathomable. You see, it goes against the laws of nature.
It does.
When someone is not profitable in the first place, he only exhibits what he knows, which is impunity. When he was talking, I saw Dele Alake with him, when we get that talk.
And he quickly mentioned the forest guard, then ended up with
the forest guard
and somewhere else again.
Because of banditry and because of natural resources, because they haven't been able to have free reign into those areas.
They don't have any real grasp of the situation. So it's pretty much
the situation. And they cannot award contracts to foreign parties to drill any resources without any interruption. So it's like saying, okay, they put you as minister for mines or whatever, and you're going to that territory, and that territory is riddled with insurgency and unrest. So you can't deliver. You can't, do a very low-hanging fruit is the fact that there isn't any job for you to just award the contract. This is my point. Award the contract, drill it, get your money and exit. But in this case, those areas are unstable. So, what do you want to pay or the normal?
And they have no idea on how to do normal. They do not have
it's normal now.
It's like realizing that you see me and you now, right? For example, me and you thinking, how is it so difficult for these people to do all these things when they can easily just do something? And then we get in. We call the line say,
because
and you are not allowed to tell it the whole world, the rot.
No.
You just have to say
because
like, I don't think I can do anything here.
There are some mineral resource rich areas that are untapped, but they are riddled with insurgency. And really do with instability. So you can't attract any foreign investor to go there. They won't listen to you because no one, and even if they go there, there isn't any agency that will ensure that process. So even if you got, let's say, a mining contract for lithium in the north, the even Lloyds of London, but not going to insure that project. Nobody will insure it. Nobody. So for them, don't do all it's normal. Normally, what comes normal, whereby they will just award the contract to one foreign person, start drilling, do little,
kind of,
and get it rid. But because the country is unstable and investors are not going, are willing to come, and no one's going to insure it, because that's the key thing people have to understand. There's always that insurance. People always pay for insurance in countries whereby they are unstable.
That's how it should be now. You don't want to you don't want to take 1 billion to a country and then go lose the whole money there.
And now, even World Bank will not underwrite that deal.
No.
World Bank will go because I'm on a bad market too. Because this one, even Nigerian oil reserves, I'm going to go show for one. But you type it, bashu. So every day, if you are an expert in drilling lithium or if you're an expert in drilling cobalt or coltan, whatever it is, whatever rare earth minerals is out there, you won't want to touch that place, because if you like they say, Toba terrorists were following it straight up. Following one time.
Probably made you know our expatriate to Poa. Now we have 14 now other workers.
Toba no terrorists were following me, Baba. Chairman, Toba terrorists were following one time, Toba terrorists were following. So that is the problem. Can it be time Obasanjo launch shaking hands in Omo? They go cash out, go Obasanjo time. Good luck. They go cash out, because in those days of good luck, them Kola Loko, then Gideon Mokore, those guys, man, they destroyed, man. They Baba.
They enter Nigeria, Baba. Like say, or more Nigeria life,
Baba. See, what those guys did. Ocean, they were just doing normal. They were just awarding themselves contracts. Even Financial Times caught the audio of this and is telling them Gideon Mokore and Kola Loko to calm down.
We need to calm
Bloomberg
down. Guys, we need to calm down. No, this is like more.
Baba, even Bloomberg News, top financial agency, financial news in the world, reported $11 million house that Tinubu son bought. And you're expecting progress. You're expecting for them to reduce inequality. It's a government of tokenism. Yeah, sharing 50K. It's a government of tokenism. It's tokenistic. Tokenistic government. Baba Chama.
See, it's really good to hear from you, especially, why I love hearing from you when we are talking about economics or accounting is that I approach it as a layman. I do not know all the rudiments. I always, at the back of my mind, when I'm talking about finance like that, if Adeola is watching, it's going to come back here to help me later this evening. And you just did. And thank you very much as well for your time, okay? You have a
God bless you, sir.
And you too.
Bye.
Nice on there. That's Adeola there. Adeola, my brother. Now, our time is kind of like over little by little. We are packing it up a little by little. But I have this singular request again. If you are watching me to this point and you haven't really liked the broadcast or the video, I think you should now. Kind of like somebody sent me a video while we were here. They said after the PDP's NEC meeting and with a wiki and his G-string governors, G5 governors, they met inside the Wiki's house inside Abuja. They are not G5 governors anymore, but they were G-string back then. Remember them? To say, yes, Atiku didn't have his way today. We have shown him that, and he said, we control these people, destroying people. Watch them, 5 of them. With a wiki, Solomakide, Ortom, Ogwai, and the other one, Ekpeazu. Pardon me. Anyway, that was just on the side. Again, I could actually still take one more call, or we can just call it a night. Which would you prefer? Another call. Okay, let me open the line. Let's see if I can still get one lucky call before we call it a night. And I really do wish that at least you could take the offering to at least 1,000 like on YouTube, where you have over 1,700 of us, at least tonight, before it came down to where it is now. We only have just about 5 more minutes to call it a night. And you should use that at this moment to go like the broadcast. Come on. Right. So thank you so much, everyone, by the way, for joining me today out tonight. Tomorrow is another day. It's another day. And another day to continue. Yeah. A Fatherless People by Dele Ogun. I have also received a message from one of us here on Telegram promising to give to me. Baba, I have seen your message in case if you're watching, right? I'm sorry I haven't responded to your message, okay? But I got your message. Might go see the name again. Somebody has promised the channel. Baba or she doing. So you have promised us something, and I'm going to say it to everybody, and I'm going to send you the address as well to send it to us, to send it to the studio, okay? So it is the Aaron Smith story. Yeah, he said. So I'm looking forward to that by the time we get done with, by the time we are done with this. So even though we don't usually have a lot of people listening whenever we have that session in the afternoon, but it seems that those who listen, they are really those who are interested in that history. Some of the histories that have been manipulated just to further some insiders' agenda of division. You know what I mean? So, but for those who have been joining, I want to say a big thank you to you. Tomorrow from between 1 and 2 p.m., we are going to kick off. And once we kick off, it's just reading, and hopefully I will have a chance tomorrow to actually take calls. If I don't, it doesn't matter. You should join us. Check your notification on YouTube. Check if your suspicion on Maiyegun's diary Politico is still intact. Check your notification and make sure it is on. It's on for all videos. Whatever Maiyegun puts on, you should receive notification. You should do that. And if you don't have a YouTube account, I urge you to please use your email and sign in into YouTube, Google. Go on to YouTube and you will see sign in there. If you do have an email, right? Email. Yeah, if you have an email, go on to YouTube and sign up. Use your email and you'll be able to actually like, share, and comment on Maiyegun's Diary Politico on YouTube. Also, you'll be able to also receive a notification that Maiyegun is live. Maiyegun is on. Or Maiyegun just posted something. You will never miss anything. Try all of this and see. So finally, I want to say a big thank you again to all of us for tonight. I'm going to see you some other time. And that other time is going to be tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning. Thank you and take it all easy. You should all have a wonderful night. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number 1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number 1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number 1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun number 1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Maiyegun diary Politico.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary na ibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bóyá àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran.